disrupt the industries. It's called downstream. Then in my life, in my professional life, I met many people, many companies that they are very downstream. They don't need they don't want to modify or to introduce innovation in their activities because they are doing the same, and they succeed in the way they are doing business. Other startups in the world, in Israel, Singapore, and the United States, they are trying to break the silos, to break the vertical thinking of the economy. As you can see, there are 5 areas in the world that they are concentrating disruptive innovation. The first area is the relation between the human being and the artifact. The second is our relation with energy. The third is the approach or the effort to extend the life of the human being, our connection with the environment, and lastly, in the last 20 years, is the effort of the humankind to externalize the intelligence. If we try to create a model using these areas in the upstream world, not talking about the downstream, you can see that these 5 areas of the humankind is surrounded by upstream or technology or innovation nodes or innovation zones. I'm not talking about industries. I mean, in this case, energy is not an industry. It's not a value chain inside an industry. It's the way we are disrupting many industries using energy efficiency or energy storage. Hydrogen, for example, that they are disrupting many industries at the same time, or energy storage in terms of cells, energy cells that they are disrupting cars, trains, etc. Everything here are what we call innovation cells that first thing they are connecting among them. Quantum is connecting to air pollution control, to smart grids, to structural materials, biomaterials. Everything is connected. It's in a way that we can call it like a very similar that the neural network. In this connection, not considering industries on there, it's just a concentration of disruptive technology that you can find in Israel, you can find in Silicon Valley, or you can find it in South Korea or in Japan. These kind of technologies are connected. In the last 20 or 30 years, these technologies are isolated. It was really isolated. In the last 20 years, these technologies are starting to connect one each other. This is what we call the AI leap generation. For the first time, in my opinion, the first time the human beings are seeing an incredible explosion of connection. Everything is connected. Everything is finding like synapses between all these technologies, and they are projecting these technologies to several industries. If we develop more things, we can see in our model how artificial intelligence are being the catalyst of these synapses, of this connection. For example, you want to connect data analytics with anti-fraud identity, with biorobotics, etc. It's a huge connection of neurons that produce outputs and produce everything that can be unpredictable, really unpredictable. Then you can see that all industries, like Octopus, are connected to this network of technologies that are self-connected. Then, for example, in textiles, they are linked to several trends or technologies that these technologies are also connected with others. It doesn't mean that we cannot identify or we cannot apply the concept of how AI will disrupt my industry, but we can analyze artificial intelligence connecting with robotics or connecting with the structural materials. This kind of complexity to understand how the nature of industry will change because of the eruption of disruptive technologies is crucial today for a clear competitive advantage. It's what I call the mandala of innovation. You can see industries in the square all of industries and sub-industries and industrial capabilities, how these industries are being affected, changed by the connection of technologies coming from any part in the world. This is the first model we developed using neural networks to understand, which could be the market map or the structure of technologies that can affect all the industries in the world, and to bring some ideas in a way that we can untap information from the market, like Hayek told me in the 80s. And we received an award in 2019 because these are already competing in United States in the Select USA Investment Summit, competing with a lot of startups in the world. It's the same like in this graphic is a demonstration that being an industry, we can define the path to connect to all the technologies in the world and to see which could be the impact of this disruptive technologies in the industry. Not only in the short time, but in long term, that comparing with the Gartner curves, we are trying to observe the life cycles of all the technologies just by connecting all the influence of other indirect technologies affecting to the technology we want to analyze. Then today we are, I'm finishing this very, very fast as I promised. We are creating an incredible consortium to develop this concept with Axel Center, with GIMI, with Global Innovation Management Institute, with the University Alfonso X, the School of Business and Technology, and the company Kira, that Kira is now introducing this kind of concept based on AI. It's going to be the first AI innovation ecosystem platform in the world based in this concept to define the relation between all the industries and all the business and all the products, with trying to unbundling and connecting to a neural engine. This platform is called Sunrise, and you will see next year how Sunrise will disrupt the wall of innovation, helping many companies in the world understanding which kind of technology will accept in a short, medium, and long term their industries. We are using a lot of AI approaches like convolutional neural networks. We are using recurrent neural graphs, neural networks. Obviously, we are connecting with ChatGPT and BARC. And this is very important because ChatGPT-4 and BARC, they are giving us a lot of connections that in the 10 years ago was very difficult to get it. This system will allow us to connect all the stakeholders in the ecosystem in a way that we can create like a matchmaking process, but based on the innovation goals. For example, if the smart material will affect the textile industry, automatically we can create a textile ecosystem with companies, startups, research groups, and investors that can be connected with each other, introducing a more modern and groundbreaking dynamics in the system. Then my last thoughts, being very, very, very fast, is that when I remember when I've been in Singapore and talked with Lee, with the right hand of the first minister, he told me that in Singapore they are not thinking about industries. They are very strong in the financial and transport and distribution hub in Asia. But they are not thinking about to create or define the economy based on the vertical industries. They're trying to connect all the networks in the upstream world, trying to disrupt or to influence, or to have some influences in all the industries. Then I encourage you to think to try to think in everything around your world, which could be the connection with the roadmap to connect to technologies. It's like disruptive technologies. It's like to have some glasses and to see the reality in a way that you can unbundle what you're seeing, a glass of water, a table, wherever you want to unbundle. You will need some kind of tools that you can understand, which could be what's next of the reality we are living. I don't know exactly, we can transmit data through the roots of the trees, but probably we're very close to imagine whatever we want to imagine. And this is the reason because we need advanced and complex systems to understand how the future will, or how to bring the future to the present. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope I was on time. I think so.
Carlos, thank you very much. Let's put the talking heads up so we can see you. Good. Carlos, first and foremost, I want you to don't answer yet, but I want you to think about the use cases. What are the use cases for this type of platform? But let me try and share with the audience what I think I heard. Imagine if you could know what other companies and universities and startups were doing. Imagine if you knew what type of assets and competencies that they have. Imagine if you could somehow on demand ask for this information or ask for this help to be able to build teams or partnerships to be able to move forward on whatever you want to work on. And this is being done today manually. It's been done by people making emails and phone calls, meeting for a coffee, and it does happen, but certainly there's a slow speed of transaction. And then there's a human distrust also put in place inside there. And this platform, if done correctly, is going to allow you to do all that together, is what I'm imagining. A day where on demand, I can find the right people, the right ideas, the right assets whenever I want. So I think that's the platform. Let me begin by asking you the question, Carlos. How long have you been working on this thing?
15 years. We work on that. I mean, and we started with...
Which version are you talking about right now?
we started to support we started 15 years from a stay in Israel and United States to define. In that time, I mean, we have the technology we have right now. And then we support the innovation agreement in Colombia with this platform called Startup Innovation Network. But with Sunrise today, it's just an incredible engine to understand very complexity and put it to the companies in a way that they can control this wall of upstream in a proper way.
And let's talk about some use cases. Can you share a use case how a big university or maybe a big corporation might want to use this thing?
We work in several, a lot of cases, but one of the things is with India, in the market map of autonomous vehicle, to unbundle a car and to detect with kind of technologies that can disrupt the tiers or the air conditioning, etc. Other is with Coca-Cola in the plastic bottle, the plastic bottle, and how to disrupt the plastic bottle of Coca-Cola, and to connect with future medicine, to connect with plastic, etc.
Let me double click on that. So you're saying you took a car, you unbundled it into a door, a handle, a windshield wiper, tires, spark plugs, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you basically says, what's the disruptions for each one of these components and who could be the partners and the suppliers to do that?
That's right.
And how long would this normally take if you were McKinsey, BCG, or a standard consulting firm?
A lot of money. A lot of money. A lot of thousand euros. A lot of money, 100,000 euros. Or probably 1 million. I don't know exactly, but It's very expensive. At least, we're trying to introduce a democratization of innovation. It is very important in the upstream, because in the downstream, to create ideas, to break the silos is another technique. But this kind of technique that are disrupting all over the world or life, we need to establish a system to access to this information. And this is one of our mission.
I could take this phone and unbundle it and saying, I am a phone, I am made of a camera and a screen and a microprocessor and everything else. And then I can unbundle that again. And then I can ask partners and suppliers to say what's next and what else.
Yeah. And looking around the corners as well. How to untap something that you cannot find. You see a mobile, or you can go directly to the traditional sources. I don't know. The system will allow you to apply future medicine to a mobile, to a cell, or apply biotechnology to a cell, or apply the cells to do whatever you want to do, but introducing new technologies. The system will create something from scratch. and then you can use it. This like a Lego game. You can use it, the cells we are creating and putting together to see what the system will create by itself.
Carlos, I love the possibilities that comes from this thing. I'm just going to try to just make sure that the use cases become clear to all of us. So I could be a beverage company and say, I want to make my beverage, this is my current beverage, but I want my future beverage to make me healthier or more
Sure.
beautiful or more
Sure.
attractive and not have so much sugar or something else. And again, you can kind of push this thing down by unbundling the beverage into its core components and unbundling again, and then finding who could be the suppliers, partners of the future.
That's right. But you can create your own ecosystem with your logo, with owned by you and managed by the company. And then not only you can unbundle the reality, but you can invite startups, companies, investors in your own closed ecosystem if you want. It's more
Makes
than
sense
that.
to me.
It's not only to discover, it's that to connect your actors to be partner of you.
So when you talk about connecting in the ecosystem, so let's go back to the real details now. Let's say that we want to build a ecosystem in green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is the biggest thing in the future right now. Everybody's talking about green hydrogen, but nobody knows how it's going to work, where the green electron will come from the green hydrogen for the future of climate change, right? So how do you get an ecosystem? How do you get, who's going to be the leader of the ecosystem to say, let's do this and let's put all the players together? What kind of profile is of the key player who starts the ecosystem? Because everybody is waiting for somebody else to start it. So
Yeah.
who's the leader? How do you define a leader? What does a leader look like?
I mean, first, the leader could be someone in any industry that can green hydrogen would disrupt. This is the first thing. Secondly, we need to unbundle hydrogen. I mean, in the case that we need to understand which could be the application of hydrogen and to see which could be the impact of in all the industries. This is something that today we are working on that, because for us, green hydrogen is really important in the terms of sustainability. And today we are trying to create a path to see which could be the next movement or the next competitor or the next actor. And this is the moment we are right now in the green hydrogen. But the thing is to understand which is the source of hydrogen. I mean, in the case that which could be the startups, could be the research groups in the world that are working on that, and to map which could be the applications, the appliance of hydrogen in all the industries. And today we are right now we are in this situation analyzing hydrogen. Thank you, Hitendra.
Okay.
This is a very good example.
Yeah. So Carlos,
in the next speech, I will give you the results for a study.
of course. Carlos, let's say that you might have something interesting in which could help a certain industry sector, but you're too small. How could I somehow connect into this thing called Kira platform, the Moonrise, Sunrise platform, which allows you to be seen? How do a company who's not able to get visibility now take advantage of your platform, saying, hey, look, I'm here. Look, I'm here. I've got something. So the guys in Tel Aviv can get excited. The guys in Colombia can get excited. The guys in Norway can get excited. How does your platform help with that?
The first thing, the platform is based in what we call federated data, federated ecosystems. I mean, you are in India, for example, or in the United States, and Coca-Cola is creating an ecosystem with us. Probably Coca-Cola will detect you. We are mapping many startups in the world and many companies in the world, but I mean, our mission is to create environments, decentralized environment by each company, government, etc., to give them the knowledge and the tools to connect the startups. We are not Crunchbase. We are an ecosystem generator. Then if you want to be involved in this project, the first thing is to understand if we can create in a level of country, in a level of region, a level of company, or a level of university, hospital, etc., to create your own ecosystem. And then to follow or to pursue your own objectives. The system will give you a lot of tools to unbundling your industry, your wherever. You can create open innovation challenges, everything. But the most important thing is to create a decentralized environment to work in innovation, and then to detect the small one that want to be involved.
Perfect. What you're presenting is potentially the Google of all the information that is sitting inside companies, inside startups, inside universities. Information that normally is not shared, and now we can somehow share some of this to make that happen. Is that what we should be calling you? The Google that of all information of corporations and organizations around the world that those organizations are willing to share? Is that what you're going to be?
Not exactly. I mean, we are not, our mission is not to have an inventory of everything in the world, but to create connections. I mean, to create connections, I mean, if you detect, it's like what we're trying to create, like a GPT of innovation, or innovation GPT, something like that, to understand the connections and to bring your examples and the possibilities to connect with the startups. I mean, but it's not to give you like a list of startups or research groups. For example, if you are working in the line of the area in the upstream world between smart materials, wearables, future medicine, AI, probably you will create a t-shirt that changes the color if the kids become ill. Then if you prefer, if you decide that this is very interesting for you, I will give you a lot of actors in this relationship. Then it's not a database of like a Crunchbase, etc. It's to decide which is your innovation goals, to be very concentrated, very focused, and then the system will give you information to open daily. Periodically, you will get a lot of information. I mean, you will need to get inside the platform every day, because once you decide on navigating the platform, the system will understand your behavior, and to create like a footprint of your industry, a footprint of your company, and give you more information. In this sense, it's like a Spotify of innovation that will create connections very based on your navigation or your behavior in the platform.
I like that. So it's not about just finding the data. If you keep your focus, your objective is connections. Who can I connect with? Because people to people who are going to make things happen, connections is what you're looking for. And in there, each institute, because there's a question that was posted, Carlos, which is saying, how do you protect the confidentiality of the information, or what information? Why would I share my information? And I think you are making it clear, but you can expand on that. My understanding from what you just said was any company can get in there and say, here's the information I want to share. Here's what I'm looking for. And now I'm looking for connections. So this is your choice of what you put in there. So I'm going to go aggressive to the other side now. Is this the Tinder of corporations and organizations?
Could be. This is very interesting approaches to the system, but I'm sure that it's going to be something that you'll be in love, for sure. This is a wall approach to the innovation in many terms. But coming back to your question, I mean, the first thing is where, as I mentioned, we're talking the federated data ecosystems, and then trying to fulfill the GDPR requirements. Then the company they will retain the data, and we cannot share the data of an ecosystem. We have more startups. I'm connecting with many sources that we can recommend, but the data belongs to the ecosystem owner. It is very important. It's a pure federated data system.
Carlos, there are questions being asked that there's some sort of tipping point needed or a critical mass needed for the system to be vibrant, an ecosystem. So a minimum number of participants, a minimum amount of information, a minimum amount for any ecosystem. So can you kind of give us a journey saying, how do you see each ecosystem being built up as a journey? Maybe one company says, I want to create this. I want all my suppliers to sign up. How does this work? And when does the tipping point happen where it begins to be vibrant by itself versus being nudged to make it real?
This sunrise is very based on the biological ecosystem. I mean, try to imagine some space that we want to create some birds or some fish. then the first thing is you need to have two to trying to create some transaction, because if not, you won't have kids in this ecosystem. I mean, then you have a few actors in your ecosystem, and part of your decision is to bring to your ecosystem cats. Probably you will bring hunters of cats. It probably is not for you something that is very valuable. Then the main thing here is to define with ambition your objectives, and then if you have a very excellent objectives in innovation objective goals in your ecosystem, probably some lions will come, and some hunters of lions will come. But you want to be you're thinking about ambition, then you will have something in your ecosystem that could be very attractive. Then the first thing in the innovation wall is to be attractive, to create some attraction. Then wherever you want to work on that, the first thing is to define your goals, to transmit your goals to the using our platform, to be understood. You can send emails using our platform to certain or some companies to explain what you want to do. But the most important thing is to work in innovation in a way that the people can understand and can be attractive, with a lot of thinking big, not thinking long.
Yes. Carlos, this is great. And I think it probably requires a strong push at the beginning to get it started, I can imagine, and leadership from some strong players. But once the tipping point will happen, it can happen. There's two questions. I want to hit the first one. Is as you are able to get the ecosystem to be vibrant and people are working and sharing and exchanging, now we have the challenge of who owns what, and if something is being built, how do you actually share the upside and the profits and everything else in terms of idea ownership and all that. And this reminds me of decentralized decentralized organizations, and how do you create governance in terms of who did what, who owns what, and this kind of things. And we are human beings and we are territorial. How do you believe this platform will help collaboration and not, again, suddenly saying what is in for me versus how can I do 1 + 1 is 3?
Well, it's very important for us is the understanding that we don't believe in the global village. We believe in the local village connected. The local village in the history of the humankind, the global village trends to be very specialized and to be complementary to other ecosystems. And what I think in our platform is the ecosystem will be able to connect with other ecosystems and to be decentralized in the business unit or region, etc. Then it's very important to be very focused in your innovation goal, not to be very open, and to understand that there will be in the future more ecosystems that you can connect. I mean, the startups from one side can see, can watch, and can connect with companies on another side, etc. This wall of specialization, a complementary specialization, will be the future in our thoughts of the humankind. Because the global village is a systematic approach to a lot of problems in the world that we are living right now. Then I totally believe that the ecosystem may decide the future, and then to connect with other to create a common future, but connected in networks, not in a global way.
Got it. Carlos, the question I think everybody is waiting for you to answer or maybe expand on is AI. So everybody is excited about what ChatGPT did and transformed things. And we to a large extent don't even know what is going to happen next, because AI is coming and it's going to do things for us before we even think about it. So the question for you is, as you look at the AI engines inside Kira, what are the first value propositions for the people who participate in here? What will AI do? What work does it take away from you? What value does it deliver faster, quicker? What bigger, bolder ideas do we come after? What is the value proposition that you see will happen first, as AI will say, I can do this for you, and then this, and then this? some sort of maturity.
But you say in Kira or in general?
In Kira, it's Kira that we want to learn a lot about.
Oh, Kira. Okay. I mean, I always put the example of the movement 37 of AlphaGo. It is very important. I mean, for me, it was the first miracle of the AI in the world. It's in a way that the movement 37 about AlphaGo competing to Lisidol is a pure intuition movement. It's not a predictable movement. This intuition movement forces us to create AI to allow us to go beyond our limits. It is very important. In our case, in Kira, we are using AI to go beyond our limits because it is the complexity of connecting all the technologies in the world. It is you cannot solve it without AI. You cannot solve it with an Excel, or you cannot solve it by trying to scout in Google. It's something that is not a fixed picture of the innovation world. It's an ongoing picture, and it's very difficult. Then AI allows us to go beyond our limits and to create conclusions about the complexity.
Excellent. Carlos, if you were to invite people in the audience over here around the different things that we're going to do, and I'll talk about GIMI. GIMI has got a global network of partners across the globe, and they have their own networks of companies they help with innovation and training. And that's one type of ecosystem. When I look at Dubai Excellence Program, their ecosystem is made up of all the government entities of the Dubai government. And then they have their own suppliers and partners. We look at Ayala, and I'm looking at the logos behind me. I look at Ayala, which is one of the biggest corporations in the world with banking and telecom and real estate businesses in the Philippines. And they probably have access to 10% to 15% of the networks of the country. And then we look at, of course, the Chamber of Commerce of Bogota, or the government of Bogota, the city itself. And now we got all the SMEs in that city, small, medium-sized enterprises, all trying to basically grow. Or you look at La Salle, where our colleague Professor Piquet is, and he's been putting together the triple helix of governments and cities, and the city ecosystems are in place. And of course, our colleague in Norway, Truls, who's basically building a corporate ecosystem of big companies to say, look, we need to exchange ideas and work together. And we are all ecosystems of a type. What's your pitch to us? Saying, join me. I think my platform is the best platform for us to be interacting with you.
One of the trends in the world are to connect far industries, because the far industries, without any, observable connection, can share the same innovation needs. For example, the National Police of Colombia and the milking industry, a milk company, which is the relation we see between both. And then you don't have any relation, just using your mind. But you're trying to search in our network, you can see that both are looking for facial recognition systems. One applied to security, and other applied to the exchange. My pitch will be work together, trying to find out the points of innovation that connect each other, that you can create something together without being competitors. And this is very important. It's very far from the cluster approaches in the economy. And then far industries like La Salle, Ayala, or Dubai, probably they will have some common points to work on that, to create some point in the ecosystem, and to create together something that you can apply, or you can get some rights, IP rights together, but apply to several industries. This is a breaking down of the traditional concept of open innovation, that you work in the IP goals of the promoter, but in the ecosystem orchestrator, any actors can get the same IP rights to apply to several appliances. Then I truly encourage to work together to find out the points, the break points to work together.
That's great. Carlos, I'm gonna, at this moment, we got to take a point of an intermission. It's a infomercial basically of the GCIO. Meanwhile, while you're watching, everybody in the audience, if you have any questions, please post them inside here. One question that remains kind of not well answered yet is, in the collaboration, are we going to a new world where there's no single individual who owns the idea anymore, but somehow we've got to create fragments which sit out there, and maybe the value is not the ideas anymore, but the value may be the output and the results, and we redefine that. So think about that, Carlos. Laura, I'm going to give you the air for a minute if you want, and run the second video about the Global Council for Innovative Organizations.
المجلس العالمي للمؤسسات المبتكرة مجلس فريد من نوعه، يمثل مؤسسات عالمية من مختلف قارات العالم. هذه المؤسسات مختصة بالابتكار وبدعم الابتكار وبتعزيز ثقافة الابتكار في المؤسسات وفي الجهات الموجودة في مختلف هذه الدول. المجلس بيكون له دور كبير في دعم تبادل ونقل المعرفة ونقل الابتكارات الموجودة في مختلف قارات العالم ومختلف المؤسسات الموجودة على مستوى العالم، ودعمها وتأثيرها ونقلها للمؤسسات الموجودة سواء في دبي وفي دولة الإمارات أو على مستوى الدول المشاركة في هذا المجلس. برنامج دبي للتميز الحكومي يعتبر أحد الأعضاء المؤسسين لهذا المجلس، والبرنامج كان له دور وباع كبير في دعم الابتكار والمبتكرين على مدى ال20 سنة الماضية، من خلال المبادرات اللي يقدمها، من خلال الفئات الموجودة في جائزة برنامج دبي للتميز الحكومي. البرنامج له دور كبير في هذه المبادرة، وسيدعم الابتكار والمبتكرين وثقافة الابتكار على المستوى المحلي وعلى المستوى العالمي، وسيساهم في نشر كل الإنجازات وكل الابتكارات الموجودة على مستوى دبي للعالم بأسره.
Thank you, Dr. Haza. Dr. Haza is the leader of the Dubai Global Government Excellence Program, and he has been one of the drivers for making this Global Council for Innovative Organizations happen. And we're going to be having our annual meeting this year in the Philippines, and look forward to all members participating. Carlos, ultimately, the question over here is, you are looking for support, you're looking for collaboration, you're looking for a range of things. What is your ask from us? What is the ask from the audience that will help build ecosystems? Because everybody who is in this audience believes in what you're talking about. It's not that we disagree. We agree with you that collaboration is the future. Silos need to be broken. But it's hard still. We still sometimes we get on planes. So we still have to somehow build trust by having dinner and food and exchanging that. We've got to shake hands and build trust. Well, it's hard. It's been very hard, and only the best are able to do this, and most people struggle. So we want to help you succeed, and we want this platform to be there for all of us. So what is it that we can do? So this is it. This is your appeal. You got a couple of minutes to appeal, ask for the help.
First thing that we need to create a network of business cases. I mean, our technology cases. I mean, you are in Dubai or you are in a company outside. We need to contact you to customize the system to you, and then to understand your business case. I mean, in all countries, and all actors, universities, startups, accelerators, etc., they have their own behavior, and we need to consider everything to be adapted globally in the platform. Then we are very open to collaborate with any company or any institution or any government in the world to apply our concept in a way that we can help them to organize the innovation economy by using this kind of platform, and to create this kind of a decentralized ecosystem to allow to understand the behavior of industries, to behavior of companies, universities, to organize the research groups in a way that we can connect with each other. But it's something that we need, specifically the support. We will need the support of the governments as a framework, innovation framework creator, and then to strengthen and to encourage all the actors to connect with each other. And this is very important. It was one of the conclusions, the main conclusion of the project of Colombia with Ruta. And we need an environment to allow and to encourage actors to connect and to create dynamics.
Excellent, Carlos. Carlos, you can rely on us. GIMI believes in what you have done, and we have already made the investment to partner with you guys to make Kira real. I believe that the same opportunity exists for all our other partners in the Global Council for Innovative Organizations. So certainly they'll think about it also. But I want all of you to imagine a world where you can find anything and any partner anywhere at any moment. Imagine a world that somehow you can immediately notify them and tell them what you're working on, and they can tell you what they're working on and say, here's how I can help you, how I can help you go faster. Imagine in this world that you could think about now, because normally when we think about everything we do alone, now we can think about bigger and bolder things. Imagine in this world how to do it faster, cheaper, and removing the risk. That's what this platform provides. And that's what I would like to see more and more people get involved in this thing and to make it real. But I think the platform that you're providing creates a framework, has a framework in there. It's got a way of thinking of innovation, and it builds in there the requirement that if we are going to play together, we should apply the rules of kindergarten, perhaps. We must play nice, we must share, we must say please and thank you. And if we do that, I believe that we can be very successful. Carlos, you have the last word, and then we will kind of bring our members from the GCIO up to see if they want to just check in and then wrap up this meeting.
Thank you very much for this time. It's always a pleasure to be close to you, Hitendra. It's incredible positive energy to create ideas and to see and to forecast the future with your thoughts. Thank you very much, the Global Council for Innovative Organizations, to invite me, and to GIMI and to all the partners. It was a pleasure to be here and to share with you my challenge. And it's a challenge of life. This is the way I fight every day to create this kind of system and to allow many people in the world and many companies.
That's great. We are 9:56. We got a couple of minutes. So I've learned one thing in life as a professor, that if you can finish a lecture or finish a presentation on time, and preferably a few minutes early, people will say, this was a great event. Carlos, thank you very much. You are a thought leader in this space. I encourage everybody to invite Carlos wherever you are to maybe double click and really ask him deeper questions. Carlos has been doing this for more years than most people, and he's got insights which are layered by layered, like an onion. The more you peel, the more you'll see underneath it, and the more you peel, you'll see more underneath that. And he's a colleague and a great partner in general. So Carlos, please welcome you again anytime. And we would also like to see you become a partner of the Global Council for Innovative Organizations in the future. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And have a nice, great rest of the week.
Thanks a lot. My pleasure.